It's if it had no room for passengers at all, then is it still an automobile? Is it still a car? Or is at that point it just a robot?
Let's look at the word auto, self, mobile, moving, self-moving, right?
At that point it just a robot. Damn you and your
Let's
logic.
look at the word auto, self, mobile, moving.
We're
Here for
recording
you.
this?
Oh my.
We should be recording this.
This is some of the best stuff in the
now.
world.
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
Right.
I mean,
so
outside of me reading Mark's text message.
Oh, hell.
It looks like it's working. No. Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
Looks like it's
Outside of-
working.
Yeah. Famous last
Famous
words.
last
It sounds
words.
like it's working.
Are we streaming?
I need to get a multiple monitor setup like Mark.
It's funny. I technically have a multiple monitor setup in that I have my laptop in front of my monitor for work.
That's cursed.
I don't use my home monitor at all for work. You would think I would take my laptop, plug it into the monitor so I could actually put it up on a 32-inch screen in front of me, but no, I just look at my 15-inch little screen on my laptop and I'm quite content. Uh-oh.
Because you're weird.
Yeah.
Because you're weird.
It's never a good thing when you hear, oh, bollocks.
Now my Stream Deck
Right.
just
No.
collapsed.
Are you what?
Stream Deck.
Collapsed?
Yeah,
Has it
it's
collapsed?
got like a little thing at the back to prop it up. I just moved it forward and it went. The buttons what I do all my things with.
That was a dick move.
That one.
Yeah. Isn't that on like a little magnetic stand?
No, mine's an older one there.
Ah.
It's just plastic prop.
Oh.
Right, so yeah, we're going for it.
You tell us. Are we going for it?
Right, we're going for it.
Full send, as the kids say. Full send.
Control Alt Delete. Here we go.
Same question
Wait.
I asked my wife. Are we going for it?
Just talk over
Format
it.
C.
Doesn't matter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Back! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
Sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into episode 838 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Today is June 1st, 2025. And right about now, I'm wondering if we're actually streaming.
I hope so.
Do we have
Yes.
verification we're on Twitch? Kim.
Well, I'm watching the stream live.
Hold on. I'm finding out now, as a matter of fact. All I had was a little spinny
We're
thing in the
on
middle,
Twitch.
nothing else. So.
Kim.
Well,
I
Anything in
see
the-
you live on Twitch with your grouchy expression, wondering if we're streaming.
Okay. As long as you have that, then we're good. It's
Yep,
the
we're good.
pre-E3, not E3 show. Yeah, I said it. It's also, fun fact, National Say Something Nice Day in the U.S.
well, that's going to be difficult for you,
Oh.
isn't it, Greg?
I think it might be. It might be.
I always try to bring a challenge for Greg. So today's challenge is say something nice.
I will say we have been on approximately 60.1 years, if we've done the math properly. So there's that. That's nice.
Holy
I try to say
moly.
lots of nice things. Mark, your headphones look very nice. Mark Wright on the show today. Mark Marcanix, how you doing?
Tired, but yeah, I'm doing okay, thanks. No, I had no sleep last
Excellent.
night.
Okay. Kim, the monster in the middle, looks very nice.
Thank you. Appreciate
Kim
that.
Woods on the show today.
I am
welcome.
also tired, but probably not for the same reason Mark is tired. I had a DJ pretty much outside my window almost all night, so that was fun.
Okay.
No. There's a story there. Probably.
Did the DJ at least
usually
play
there
some
are.
good songs?
I don't know. All I ever heard him do was yell in the microphone, so I don't know. There was apparently a birthday party or a wedding reception or something up the road at the restaurant up the road, and of course we don't live that far from it, so I could hear it. And I don't know, I think I finally passed out about 1 o'clock this morning. So thanks for that.
Also, looking very nice with a very colorful plaid shirt. Christopher Matthew.
It is unseasonably cool here in upstate New York, and so I had to break the flannels out of storage. Normally the flannels would be in summer storage, but here we are. Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Not unseasonably cool here. I will say that right now. We were 102 degrees yesterday. It's only 86 today so far, so we've brought it way down. All right, where are we at? We're a podcast about video games. We talk about life. Obviously, if you haven't figured that out yet, strap in. It's gonna be fun. You can be part of the chat. You can join us live. We do this every Sunday, 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on what some think is an important East Coast. And then if you happen to be in Kalamazoo, Canada, Saskatchewan, Missouri, it's 2 p.m. Central Time.
It is.
Like I said, we are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. So come join us live. Even if I don't know we're live, we are live. We're there. We're happening. We'll also do an audio version of this podcast. So if you are needing to get down and groove to the oldies on the treadmill, you can listen to us. Have a chuckle. Have a good time.
Boomer confirmed.
That being
sounds
said,
working well.
Well, thank God for that. We've got confirmation of sound working well and a boomer in our chat. I don't know how happy I am about a boomer being in our chat, but I do love boomer, so there's that.
Oh, good.
You know, Gary's a good guy. We've got birthdays. We got a lot of birthdays. Holy crap. Okay. Well, I take it all back. We don't have a lot of birthdays, but there are a lot of birthdays to talk about. So let's get through the important ones. Andrew Wells, June 3rd. Paul Taft Davies. Paul Taft Davies Ricks on June 6th. The Ricks part. I don't think I ever knew that. Is that new? Has that always been there?
Yeah, just call him
Yeah,
Taftman.
Taftman. Okay.
It's easier.
It is easier that way.
Him and Sarah are having some right conversations about blueprints, aren't
Yes, they are.
I'm not going to ask. Morgan Freeman celebrating a birthday today. So this is your
I didn't know that.
brush with fame right now, Andrew and Paul. Heidi Klum also celebrated a birthday. Amy Schumer, some find funny, some not so much, celebrated a birthday. Tom Holland, pop quiz, or foreshadowing, I should say, towards a question, is celebrating a birthday. And then lastly, Jonathan Pryce. I believe infamous Jonathan Pryce. Wasn't he the horror guy, or am I thinking of a different Pryce?
You're thinking of Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, yes. Duh.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
no relation.
Yeah. Also,
Jonathan
Vincent Price considerably older.
Yes.
Isn't dead.
First thing that comes to mind when I think of Jonathan Price is the governor in the Pirates of the Caribbean, the first 3 movies.
Okay.
He's done a lot of other things, but that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. I appreciate that. All right. I think that is the stuff, the pre-show stuff, the important tidbits out of the way. Let's get into some story time.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Okay. Well, we just talked about birthdays, and now we're going to talk about more birthdays. Christopher Matthew, what is going on in the land of birthdays?
Well, it's June 1st, and fun fact, it's all of those people's birthdays.
Can't argue
I'm
with
not
that.
sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand the question, Greg.
In the show notes, I see celebrating birthdays. So I assume you have celebrated some birthdays.
Oh, that's a funny question.
You can take a horse to the water. You can't get it to drink the water.
You can't. You can't. So my youngest, thank you for bringing me back to reality, Greg.
You're welcome.
Sometimes I need help. My youngest turned 13 last month. It's June 1st, last month. And so we went out and celebrated his birthday. He's usually pretty low key, so it was just the four of us. We went to the local go-kart track / arcade / putt fun center.
Okay.
And we
Indoor,
had a nice
outdoor
time.
track?
Outdoor putt, outdoor go-karts, indoor bouncy house, laser tag, all that.
I
So we had
wanted to be invited to this, for the record. That sounds like fun.
You got to move to the most important coast, Greg, and then you can come to all the parties.
All right.
Yeah, we got there early, right as they opened. So we had a nice laser tag sesh where it was just the four of us. So that was a lot of fun. It was lone wolves for all you Halo fans. Just every moose for themselves. So we had a great time. Of course, Katie and I, being active duty, we wiped out the kids. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to shoot, move, and communicate. So that was a good time. Then we did some go-karts, and I do enjoy driving the go-karts, but I gotta say that driving a go-kart meant for 12-year-olds as a fully grown adult on the larger side, it's frustrating. I just drove that whole time with the gas pedal all the way down, and it was just like everybody was just passing me. Like that go-kart just could not handle the moose. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say this now. You missed out, and Mark, you missed out. Kim, you missed out. All three of you missed out when the UK boys came out to Vegas, and we went to the Vegas Speedway, and we did. They have the electric carts there. Those things have a little get up and go. So
I've done K1 karting, and those electric carts, those can move.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever do that Vegas thing again, I'll be down. I didn't get an invite to the last one.
Well, I think you weren't talking to us. It's okay.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. I was being weird.
I think at the time you were undisclosed locations. Can't talk to civilians. You'd have to shoot us if you saw us.
Yeah, I was in North Carolina doing North Carolina things. Yeah, that's Vegas trip sounds a lot of fun.
I want to repeat the Vegas trip for the record, so I'm pushing for that to happen again. So
let's do it.
Yep.
Just let me know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and then this month is this week, maybe next week, is the time of the year that I like to call the calm before the storm. So we just finished finals 2 weeks ago. Last week was an entire week dedicated to the event of graduating a class. And so now we have a month before the next class arrives. They all show up on July 1st, and that's when things kind of really pick up again. So just kind of enjoying some time to chill this month, before the madness.
I see it here. I thought the madness was just going to be the week of failing students, but we now know you didn't fail anybody. So
I do my best.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
Speaking of leading horses to water, right? I can lead all of them to the resources, but I can't make them read. So there you go.
That's fair. But hey, don't beat yourself up. Most of the children of our education system these days are not being able to be led to the reading component of life. So, all right. Yeah. Where are we going to go from here? We're going to go to Mark.
Can only go up
or down. Up or Mark? What's going on?
Not a lot. What's happened? Not to see here.
Like I said, down. What's going on with the Steam Deck?
So that's new. So yeah, I've not told anyone about that yet. So yeah, I've got a Steam Deck now.
Have you told Jenny?
Yay!
Yeah.
Does Jenny know about any of your purchases? I need to know this now.
Yeah, I'll get onto that anyway. So I've got a Steam Deck, mainly ready for the holidays and stuff. But I've never been into handheld gaming per se. I've had a PS Vita, and that was good, but the screen's a lot smaller. But I didn't realise how big the screen is on the Steam Deck. It's quite a big screen, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, I took the plunge anyway, and I've not had much time with it, to be honest. But I set up the Xbox cloud streaming, and you can remote play. And Kim told me about a great app called XB Play on the Steam store, and that saves you doing all the messing about with web browsers and cloud streaming that way. So you just install.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so it's Linux-based app, so it's native to the OS, Steam OS. So it just runs perfectly, and it runs great. I've been playing the Precinct on it, so yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it just remote plays from the Xbox up here and anywhere in the house on the Wi-Fi, as well as
I
obviously.
wish I'd known about that app before.
Yeah, it's
thanks,
really
Kim.
good,
She did tell me about
you
this
had
app.
a Steam Deck, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so just.
Sorry, what was
I've
that?
just been setting it up
That
and that.
I missed the Mr. Matthew comment.
I was just recalling when you forgot that you even had a Steam Deck. So I just,
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah. It's right there.
I did try
Sitting
playing
right there.
Baldur's Gate 3 on it.
Still there.
I don't know how Kim plays Baldur's Gate 3 on it. Because on
Not a problem.
on the PC, and I suppose it's same on console really. On the PC, you've got all your hotbar at the bottom for all your spells and your abilities and your
Right.
weapon moves and that. On the Steam Deck was like 4 or 5 weapon wheels you have to scroll through. It's it's a bit off-putting initially, so I might have another go at it. But yeah.
I have a question for the both of you. When you play Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck, does it just melt your hands? Is it running at thermonuclear temperatures? What's going on there?
No, I've never had a problem with it. Its time stays cool.
Oh,
No, it's
it just seems.
It's what's the word? Optimized. It's optimized for Steam Deck. Certain games have got a green tick, so they'll be optimized for Steam Deck, and this is one of them, and it runs really well. The fan. I've not even felt the fan kick in or anything.
Oh, you will.
The only thing I have to do is just keep
You-
plugged
you
in,
will.
'cause it will suck the battery right down off of it.
Yeah, the only
if you don't
game I've
keep-
really played a lot of it on it is Spyro. Because that's a great little handheld game to play. So Jenny was at the hairdresser's last Saturday, so I was just sat in the car playing Spyro while she's having her hair done. So, yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
I do get a laugh when the fan kicks in and I have it sitting in my lap, and I suddenly am like, why am I feeling warm? Yeah, it can get a little
Well.
toasty.
You gotta be careful and make sure you didn't pee yourself. Could be that.
It could totally be that.
Yeah, but yeah, so obviously last week I wasn't on the show, and Greg kindly read out my text message what I sent you guys. Thanks, Greg.
Again, doing my best to give an explanation to your absence, and helping the audience.
So I don't really need to go over it again, but yeah, I basically screwed my motherboard on my PC after doing yet another upgrade of a CPU. They added GPU recently, and then I went for the CPU. So yeah, it's cost me another motherboard, and then that motherboard didn't fit my case because I ordered the wrong one. So rather than send it back and get another one, I got a new case. Hence the delay in getting parts for last week's show. But it's all running now, and it looks sweet, and it is a beast now. So I'm happy.
Did you leave out the part where you bent pins?
I said I screwed my motherboard.
Literally or
Okay.
figuratively?
Yeah, screw it. I think what I've done is when I've taken the thing, I think I've caught it when I've been cleaning the paste off. I've caught it with my knuckle, and they're so delicate, them pins. So I've built a second PC now with all the spare parts I've had, and I actually managed to get that board working for a bit, and it stopped again.
Okay.
It died again.
Oh no!
Yeah, it died again. Yeah, it lasted a day, so that ended up with another motherboard in it. But I got a cheaper version, smaller, Micro ATX, and that's now done, running superb. So I've got 2 PCs now.
Okay.
Dear Lord.
So I was trying to convince Jenny to let me put this in the living room, and she went, "Oh no, but you can have it in the conservatory." All right, great. Guess what? We don't have a conservatory. Guess what?
Well
gonna
played,
say,
Jenny.
well,
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
So yeah, all the money I've spent. How can I say no? Because it's not. I wanted it. It should have been done by now, but it isn't. But probably this time next week it will be. My mortgage will be done. I'm just waiting for the money's been
Nice.
okayed and everything. I just haven't had it transferred to me yet, which will pay my mortgage off. So that'll be done soon. So that'll save us £600 a month. So I'm presuming a conservatory, if I put a nice deposit down on it, I'm presuming the payments on that won't be as much as that. So yes, looks
I
like
just
we're
want to
gonna get
cry.
a
Hold on.
conservatory.
You just said your monthly mortgage is 600.
Yeah.
It's 600 pounds, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's cheap over here. Like rental over here now is crazy. But yeah, obviously I've had my mortgage a long time, so it's coming to an end. I only owe £8,000 on it. I've got about a year left on it, but I'm going to pay it off next week. So yeah, been paying it a long time. But yeah, because we got the house quite cheap, and I did a remortgage 15 years ago to put the extension on.
okay.
So that's why it's gone on a bit longer than what I wanted to. But yeah, well, yeah, some mortgages in the UK are double what I'm paying.
Would you? I have a plan. I have a plan for you, Mark.
Right.
Especially now that you're going to be free of the mortgage. I mean, Jenny, what if we put in a really nice entertainment center? A nice cabinet that the TV can go into, that everything will look really nice. It'll be built out. It'll have some shelving, and conveniently, I'll have a nice space for a PC to be hidden out of sight.
You guys won't know because I haven't been on this podcast. So, in the year I were off, I built a media wall, and it took me a year.
Okay, but the sell here is we'll build a nice one.
Oh, I love my media wall. It took me a year to build it.
I'm just kidding. I did not know you built a media wall.
Yeah,
so
I built
that
a
is
media
news.
wall, yeah.
Huh?
Never done up like that before. I did a lot of planning. It cost me way more than I thought in wood and boards and everything. But yeah, yeah. But it's a full width of a wall, and it's like, cause we've got like a chimney breast what sticks out a bit. So I've come out with that for where the TV goes, and the fancy like fireplace what all like lights up and that. And then the two side alcoves, they've got bigger shelves and cupboards in and everything. Yeah, so I'll have to send you a picture.
You would definitely will. Yeah.
You should.
So why couldn't you hide your PC in that?
Well, I didn't have it at that time, but it's going to go behind the. It'll go. I've measured it. It's going to go behind the TV, so you won't see much of it.
See, this is where I think you always ask for forgiveness, never ask for. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else, Mark?
That's about it. Really, I've just been tinkering with hardware all week and all last week, so that's all I've been doing. I'm panicking.
Well, Kim, I suppose we can transition over to you. Aside from now dreaming about making Geralt naked with the upcoming mods for Witcher, what else is going on with you?
Well, speaking of Geralt, and you guys know this already because you saw it, but I got a new controller for my Steam Deck for my docket, and it is the new Witcher 3 controller. So
you're welcome.
You can all see that, but
sold out now by
yeah, because it's your fault. Yeah, because Greg, hit me up on Twitter and he's like, "Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I have not." So I immediately jumped on it. They had the regular controller and then they had the Elite. Which I almost bought the Elite, but it was sold out when I got on there. So I'm like, piss on it, give me the regular one because I'm only going to use it when the Steam Deck's docked anyway. So yep. So I got it. It was only like 80, which is going to sound expensive for a controller, but they're all up there nowadays. It's like $80, 85, I think. But it's really nice. You've got the little wolf in the middle of it, and you've got the little Witcher 3 thing on one of the sides. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't got to use it yet because I haven't had my Steam Deck docked, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, so there's that. Other than that, I don't know about anybody else, but I've had a shitload of spam calls this week, and if it's not been on my cell phone, I swear to God, it's been on my house phone. And it's funny because it's the same people calling my phone, so that's been fun. Not really. I've just been blocking calls left and right. But anyway, other than that, I kind of moved some stuff around in here and situated some things. And I mean, honestly, that's about it. It's been kind of a boring week
Okay.
around here. So
Speaking of the spam calls, so we have a life insurance policy through basically it's through my wife. So in the roundabout way, I'm the major insuree on it. I don't know if that's the right term for it. Either way, they do this annual thing where they call you because it's through the union for my wife being a caretaker for my son. There's a long explanation you didn't need, but it explains a little bit of they give you kind of the base coverage. And then they're constantly every year calling you. Let's relook at your policy and see if we can sell you anything more. It's basically what they want to do, but of course they just say we're making sure that we're meeting all of your needs. So we begrudgingly do these annual reviews because we know if we don't, we're just going to keep getting calls and calls and calls. So we did back in March, and then April. We get a phone call, and it's funny because it always is a different number, but it will go to my wife's phone first, and then it goes to my phone. And assuming we don't answer, it's like the minute you decline the call, within like 30 seconds, you get the call to the next number. And so the guy's like, hey, it's your life insurance guy. We're calling to see if we can set up time to review your policy. We're like, we just reviewed it in March. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. 2 weeks later, hey, it's your insurance guy, a different guy, same company. So we're like, dude, we literally just reviewed our policy. We don't need to talk to you guys. Make a note. 2 weeks ago now, got another call. And I think what happens is these guys work on commission, whatever, and to book appointments. And so they call, and if they get declined, they just throw it back into the mix. And so they push it off to the next guy that got hired for the job. So anyway, that was my spam call story. It has been hot here. So unlike you, Mr. Matthew, it has been sweltering hot. 100 degrees on Friday, Saturday. Although today, only supposed to hit low 90s. Good pool weather, though. Yes, only. We're out in the pool yesterday. Had a lovely afternoon. I'm home alone with my son. My father-in-law passed away, which was a bit of a surprise because he's not been in great health, mind you. But he went into the hospital, I want to say about a week back, and it was just kind of complaining about he was having a little shortness of breath, but nothing really serious going on. But lo and behold, we find out over the course of a week and a half, he had gotten quite ill. His lung kept filling up with fluid, and he had stopped eating. And so the hospital basically said, he has a do not resuscitate order, but because he's a bit incapacitated now, we want to just check with the spouse. So they had to make the call, and ultimately we made the call just to make him comfortable. And so he passed away on Thursday. We thought we had a couple more days. My wife was going down to grab her mother, and they were going to go see him at the hospital. And so, sadly, he passed away kind of by himself, which, not to bring the show down, but that's something I just don't want. I can't think of a worse way of just kind of dying alone. But you got nurses and doctors around you, I guess. So now that I've really made the mood happy and fun, and I'll say this, I was not close to my father-in-law, so it's not impacted me. It has also not impacted my wife in particular. They had a very strained relationship, so this was maybe a blessing in disguise. I'll just put it that way. I did watch a couple movies. One I'm going to speak very highly of. One I'm going to speak middle of the road on.
I've seen one of
Which
these.
would you like first?
Well, I've seen the Captain America one recently as well.
Okay.
and I didn't rate it.
I have not seen this one, so as much as you can avoid spoilers.
Yes, I will avoid spoilers. I will say Captain America Brave New World is a very mediocre Marvel movie.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed.
Yeah, Harrison Ford, I didn't hate his performance in this. So there's that. I just thought the story and kind of the way they went about some of the different components of the Marvel universe, it just felt a little bit disconnected. It didn't feel like a good Marvel movie, like kind of the epic Marvel movies we've been getting. This felt more like it was made for Disney Plus. And that might be being a bit disingenuous to the movie, but something about it, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm glad I did not see this in the theater.
I think some in some ways, if we take ourselves all the way back to 2008, when this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe started, those movies weren't always as epic, right? They were building up to something. I think the curse that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has now is they spent that 10 plus years building up to this epic finale and endgame, and everything after that, just until they finally get to Secret War, is just going to feel like a letdown, right?
That makes a lot of sense now that I really think about it. I think you're spot on with that. Because there is, it was a weird. So they do the additional kind of little montage at the end of the credits, which at this point I kind of am waiting for a Marvel movie not to do it to surprise me, because every Marvel movie does it now. So it's just like, it's their way to get you to watch the credits. But it was the odd ending to this was not the little additional spoiler thing they do. It was more that they had in like this text message at the very end, Captain America will return. And it's like, okay. Well, I didn't need to see that. I pretty much knew he was going to be returning. Anyway, so Captain America Brave New World is okay. I know this is part of comic book lore, so I get that Falcon then became Captain America, and it has gone that route. I still very much, though, like Steve Rogers as Captain America, and I'm not a fan of kind of this hybrid Falcon Captain America thing.
I'm wanting to watch Thunderbolts, because I think you've
Thunderbolts
seen
is fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Thunderbolts.
It's good. Thunderbolts is well worth watching. Also well worth watching. And this is it's a tough watch. Surviving Black Hawk Down. So this is a documentary series on Netflix. I think it's 4 episodes long. I think pretty much all of us have seen the movie Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
It's not a super uplifting movie. But it very much paints the whole incident that involved Black Hawk Down, and I'm trying to remember the actual name of the. There's an actual name to it, and it's not Black Hawk Down. The actual oh god, where the hell? The Somalia. Mogadishu. Thank you. So our incursion into Mogadishu. This is interesting because they show it from both sides. They actually do interviews with not only the soldiers that were present from the U.S., but they actually interview some of the soldiers that were part of the Mogadishu militia. And obviously, and they have very interesting and very different takes on that whole situation, which I think is it's a good reminder sometimes that, you know what, as much as we like to think of ourselves as always being the good guy, there were kind of reasons that led to that issue and that whole scenario happening in Mogadishu. And so it still sparks a lot of emotion in me as I'm watching it. And certainly still very much on, kind of the pro-US side of that whole situation, but you do start to understand a little bit of the motivations from the other side, and it was a bit eye-opening. It was tough to watch at times, but I thought they did a really good job of helping you understand everything that led up to that moment, and then kind of even subsequently the post Black Hawk Down scenario where we ended up pulling out from Mogadishu and all of Somalia. So anyway, I highly recommend. Put it on your watch list. Just know, it's not going to be a popcorn action movie. It's giving you some very real life imagery of kind of what went down. So yeah, so that's that. All right. I think we have questions from Discord.
Now it's time for community questions.
Well, look at
Do
that.
you like that, Greg?
What robotic voice did you use to do that? Was that your own voice, or
Yeah,
did you get Jada?
No, that's
Okay.
mine, but with voice mod.
All right. I think the major question I want to have the conversation around is, in fact, this question of Spider-Man. So, Mr. Matthew, you posted this question in our Discord chat.
I did.
So I will let you lead this discussion.
Oh, so I get to answer first.
But put forward your question to the masses.
Well, so the simple question is, so today is Tom Holland's birthday, June 1st, and so I was just curious for us and the listeners, who is your favorite actor that has brought Spider-Man to life? There's been a lot. So I don't know. Kim, do you have a favorite?
Probably Tom Holland. I wasn't really big on Tobey Maguire, but so play him. I mean, unless you want to go with like the animated Spider-Man, and then that would have been the one like in the early '90s, where they had the Saturday morning.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. So.
It's your that's an open-ended question. There's no wrong answers, right?
Right.
Oh, there could be wrong answers.
Oh yeah, what's the wrong answer, Greg?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the wrong Spider-Man?
I think Tom Holland's the wrong answer. I think it's clearly Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire captures the goofiness of Peter Parker, the nerdiness, the geeky guy that then becomes Spider-Man. I thought he did a brilliant job of
more in the age bracket of Peter Parker though.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Really? And he's 29.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he looks younger.
He might look like he's 16.
Tobey Maguire looked in his 30s, didn't
he? Not anymore. I mean, when he did it originally, he was fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got a very diplomatic answer.
Oh, let's hear it.
So Tobey Maguire was 26 when he filmed the first Spider-Man movie.
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah, Andrew.
I mean,
yep. Ever since being a kid, I used to get up on a Saturday morning and go straight downstairs and watch the Spider-Man cartoons. I remember going to a cinema in the 70s with my dad to watch Spider-Man. I don't know who the actor was, but I know one of them was set in, was it Hong Kong? And this, I don't know. I can't even remember the storyline. But yeah, I've always been fascinated with Spider-Man. But in the UK, the comic books weren't as big a deal as what they were in America, so I never got into the comics, but I loved the character and the premise of Spider-Man. But yeah, Tobey Maguire movies, I like all of them. Andrew Garfield, I didn't mind him, wasn't as bad. I didn't like the Sarah Jane side of it, or Mary Jane, but she was called something different in that, wasn't she? I can't remember. But yeah,
Mary Jane.
Well, that's not Mary Jane. That's
she was called something else. It played by Emma Stone, wasn't she?
It's her. Well, that's Gwen Stacy. That's a different character altogether.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I at a touch, I'd say Tom Holland. But yeah, I liked all three of them.
All right. Of the three that we're talking about here, I guess I would pick Andrew Garfield. Not necessarily because he's. I think it's ironic that of the Spider-Mans from Queens, had to think about that for a second. Spider-Man's from Queens, Captain America's from Brooklyn. So two of the three actors that have brought Spider-Man to the silver screen are British, right? So I do think that's kind of funny. But I like the Andrew Garfield movies because the way they portrayed Peter Parker, they kind of let him be a teenager a little more. Like he was playing games on his cell phone. He's carrying his backpack everywhere he goes, wearing, just all the things that teenagers at the time were doing. So I like those. I'm going to throw out Neil Patrick Harris. Fun fact, Spider-Man, the new animated series, which started in 2003, features Neil Patrick Harris as Peter Parker.
Right.
And so worth checking out. And so there you go.
Clearly voice acted though, because he would not fit the right age bracket if we saw it.
In the latest Spider-Man movie, did you guys love the bit where all three came together? I thought that was.
I thought that was great.
One of the best
haven't seen it.
pieces of Marvel cinema ever. I loved that bit.
Best pieces of Marvel. See, okay, I feel like we are lowering the bar for best ever because was it really best ever Marvel cinematic? Come on, man.
Yeah.
That is reserved. That space is reserved for Endgame.
It was one of the best pieces. That was the best fan service.
Yeah.
In the cinematic universe. Everybody wanted it. They're like, if this movie happens, we've got to see all three of them on screen, and they delivered. But I'm with you, Greg.
Even though they there was a lot of rumors about it, but they did keep it quiet under wraps, didn't they? People didn't really know.
I mean, it was probably the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Like the memes were already out there as soon as the movie was announced. So yeah.
All right. So, Tobey Maguire for the win. Okay, settled. Thanks.
No, that's not what we said.
The irony is we kind of all, each actor in this little segment got his proper dues from each one of us, which is a little ironic that it wasn't like a landslide for just one.
Don't you
just
think?
Goes to show you. Yeah. Boomer in the chat, totally incorrect. Thanks, Boomer. Thanks for playing.
Well, he said Tobey Maguire though too, so he likes both of them.
Yeah, he's half right. All right. Was there any other questions in the chat for the podcast before I move on?
We had a question for Mr. Mark. Who would like? Now that you got the new graphics card and central processing unit, should we go back to Space Elite? I don't know.
All right, so short answer. This is from Gary DeFelice. Yeah. Gary's begging for friends these days. It's what happens when you become a Broncos fan. So, no, never go back. Just move forward, Gary.
I actually did fire up Elite just to see what it looked like, and it looks amazing. But I've got the HOTAS, as Kim likes me saying this, the Thrustmaster. But because of all the new PC and that, I haven't played it on this new PC. It was on the old one, so all my key bindings for all the buttons on the HOTAS weren't there, and I could not fucking figure out how to do it because it's so complicated. So I left it for now. But yeah, I will be going back to it. I do want to get back into it because they are still supporting that game, Frontier. They're still doing updates for it, and there's so much.
Pretty amazing. It's No Man's Sky equivalent, just more realistic.
Yeah.
Because don't they have now? They have like planet landing. You can get out of your your vehicle.
You can actually walk around bases and stuff. Yeah. There was a bit of shooty bang bang.
Whatever happened with the alien thing? Was it
I
an
don't know,
actual
it's still-
alien race?
Yeah, Thargoids.
Huh.
Yeah. It's still ongoing.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Okay. Well, I suppose we can move on and talk about the games we get for free that we got to pay for. Kim, what is
Actually,
happening?
no,
Did you
because,
update
I
any of
haven't
this? You
No, because it's only the first of the month, so.
fantastic failure on your part. I'm just saying. I'm kidding, Kim. No, I guess they haven't really
This is
updated.
short.
And-
It's a short segment.
I know it's a very short segment.
Right?
I just wanted to call out that there was nothing to report here.
I don't-
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. I mean,
Just it all says May,
First
so
of
it's
the
like, yeah. It is the first of the month. I'm just saying we should
Yes.
be, we pay you a lot of
Oh.
money, Kim.
first of the month. First of the month.
Oh.
What does that mean, Greg? Come on, Kim.
It's our favorite.
Calendar.
Kim's not even prepared.
Calendar, Kim.
I haven't
Totally
even
ill
looked
prepared.
over
She's
yet.
got she's covering up the calendar. That's how embarrassed she is for the month
it
of
was
June.
it was on May, so I mean I've already seen it
Uh huh.
enough.
See,
See, still May. Calm down.
She's not even.
What, are
turned
you
it
that-
over.
No, I haven't.
Exactly.
Like I said, I just turned June. All right. So
you'd think this would be the first thing you would do, Kim. You'd wake up, you'd have a cup of coffee, and flip the calendar.
you think, right? Lack of sleep. Apparently, you'll just have to forgive me. All right, for June, for our pussy and pet calendar for the month, we have. It still makes me laugh. We have Richard and Skull. So there you go, Richard, Skull. I don't know which is which, so you guys can decide for yourself, I suppose.
I think the cat is Richard. That
Absolutely.
cat looks
There you
like a Richard to me.
Yeah,
We have
that's a
we have-
fat
we have
cat too. Good
we have a
lord.
Dick and Skull. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, technically Richard Dick, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Awesome. Corzon dropping into the chat just in time to hear about
Puss in
Elite
the Peck.
Dangerous and Puss and Pecs. You're welcome.
That is a big cat. Holy shit.
All right. What are we doing? We're talking about the games we've been
know.
playing.
Right.
Mark?
Yeah.
Do we have a jingle for
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
Anything?
Today I feel like playing computer games.
And the explosion at
Smooth
the
as
end.
silk. Smooth as silk.
I know. I think you need to let the
Production value
explosion
through
play out
the-
a little longer. I want
Wow.
Mark. I want that explosion to play out a little bit longer. It gets cut off a little too short. I'm just
That's
saying.
it. Right. I thought it'd be too long.
Come on. All right. Who wants to go first? I think Mark, you need to go first. What's been going on game wise?
So, this weird old man has got me into a certain Xbox game. I can't remember his name, but something about DeLacy, I don't know. Yeah, The Precinct. Been playing The Precinct on the Xbox. So my Xbox has been getting a bit of love. Well, it's had to do because I've had no fucking PC for nearly a week. So yeah, my PC got fired up. But I've also been streaming this to the Steam Deck via the Xbox
alright.
Play app, and it runs really well. To say it's like a basic-ish looking game, it's quite involved and it's quite addictive, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah.
The driving and the shooting are a bit, but you get used to it.
Though you do get used to it. It's
Yeah.
the least desirable,
Yeah.
the least fun component of the game, but also oddly fun.
Yeah. The shooting thing is like you'll go to shoot and it always starts at the top and you have to drag this bloody cross down to line it up. And they take quite a few shots, these bad guys, don't they? Before they go down.
Yeah. You do learn duck and cover will be your
Yeah.
especially as you get later on in the game.
Yeah. But it's so you'll get a call over the radio and you'll be driving to a burglary or whatever, and then as you go in, you'll see something else happen. You think, oh, I've got to intercept that, and there's just so much going off in this city, crime-wise. There's always something to do. But yeah, it's quite fun.
That makes you think about London, I'm sure.
Yeah. I avoid London. It's no, not going there. Yeah, so yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't got that far in the story. I know you finished it, but so that once you get past the main intro tutorial bit and you take down this gang guy, then it opens up where you do your normal patrols, and on these patrols you can gather evidence from the gangs because some of the crime you can come across are gang related. You can tell because they wear the gang insignia on the t-shirts and stuff.
Right.
So you got two main gangs, haven't you? I've just got enough intel now for the first person on the left-hand serpent. Is it serpents? So yeah, I've got enough intel now to go after that person. So, but I'm enjoying just going around on patrol. Mate. It's just so much fun. Like, oh, he's parked next to a fire hydrant. He's getting a ticket. He's parked on the
something
pavement.
very cathartic about handing out parking tickets.
Yeah. I've actually handed out a few violations and stuff, and it's come up saying that's not valid, and I've been docked XP for giving out the wrong one. So I thought that would be a bit mean.
You're a dirty cop.
Yeah. So I can't remember what it was because it's a while since I've played it, but I arrested someone for possession. But I also did him for something else, which I thought was valid, but it said it wasn't allowed. And
yeah, you'll get a couple of those.
Yeah,
where it's like clearly you killed somebody while we were in our car chase, and yet when you go to like give them like I think it was a homicide, vehicular homicide or something like that, and they're like, nope, wrong. And I'm like, watch the guy die. I know I'm right. Anyway.
Yeah, that might be in it, because they tried evading arrest, and they did run someone over, so that might be what I put, but it won't let me have it. And then the one person, as you go past it, said it gives you an alert saying, oh, that person was littering, and it puts a little arrow above the head. So I stopped the car, spoke to the person, checked their ID, checked the possessions and stuff. And then I let them go. I just give them a warning. And then the guy you're working with, your partner, he says, well, aren't you going to fine him and all this crap? And I got a minus XP for that. So I thought, can't win, can you?
Mr. Matthew has pointed something out in our notes, a key difference, that's something you need to learn. Homicide versus manslaughter. Also, by the way, right now, shots being fired in the chat. One, Corazon said, hit me up, I'm 700 hours in. I'm not sure if he's referring to Puss in Boots calendars or if he's talking about...
Elite. I thought it meant precincts then. Yeah, Elite, yeah.
No, he's talking about Elite. And then looks like Robin Tate out of the blue, just chiming in. I believe he's in Paris right now, by the way. He wanted to know about he's loving the new guys, but what was the application? Follically challenged. That's that's a bit of a shot there. Bit of a shot. Oh, and
so appreciate that. But I remember the other week, Corazon mentioned, I think it was in the Discord, about the police simulator, what's on Xbox Game Pass at the moment as well. And I tried that, and I didn't get on with that. I know
it's a different vibe. It lacks story. It lacks the story that the Precinct has.
And the Precinct, I know it's not like a AAA looking game, but it looks decent enough. But that one, it's janky, and it reminds me of a PS2 game. It's I spent about half an hour in it. It was okay. I'm not going mad.
So I do like Police Simulator. I played it before, actually, on PC. Yeah. I know, shocking. In fact, I bought it on PC. Go figure. But I do want to check out Firefighter Simulator because that's in that bundle. So, and it's on Game Pass, so why not? Real fast before we move on to next games, Mark, Kim, it's a full chat. Let's give some shout outs real fast.
Alrighty, I actually have a list, believe it or not, with more than 2 people on it. It's amazing. All right, Boomer's in there, Corazon, Bongo, and Snoogans has all made it in the chat. So thanks, guys, for dropping in.
All right. Mark
Snoogans is talking about his chicken.
Snoogans always talking about his chicken. The question is, what are we really talking about, Snoogans? That's the question. Mark, did you fire up GTA 5 Enhanced Edition?
I've done a bit more. No, I've done a bit more on the story. I keep doing a bit now and again. I'll get bored of one game and I'll just fire it up and do a mission here and there. So I'm developing Franklin's and Michael's relationship now. So we're just setting up for the jewelry heist.
Did you not finish this game before?
On Xbox I've completed.
Okay.
But
this is
this is on PC now, so yeah, I've started it again. It's so good. I've got Red Dead 2 ongoing as well on PC. Too many games, too little time.
This is the challenge we all face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Snookins.
And a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. I've just done a bit more. I mentioned last time I've made it to Act 2, so I've just started Act 2, and it's a very creepy and weird environment. I've just met this weird dude who escorts you through this like shrouded area. Can't remember what it's called. And then Kim says to me, "Oh, you can kill him, you know, and take that magic lantern off him." I'm thinking, what? So
yeah,
I did try it, and it didn't end well. So I might have to reload it and retry that.
Oh, really?
Well,
thanks for the advice, Kim.
No, I killed him, but
I killed him.
I killed him and all the minions, all the goblins. But
right,
I must have done something wrong because the environmental thing kept taking health off my guys, and we all ended up dying. But since then, I looked in what you have to do, and I didn't really. I tried equipping the lantern, but it didn't work. But you have to do something else, don't you? There's actually on your hotbar, there's a thing to do for the lantern.
Yeah, there is.
None of that makes sense to me, for the record.
I
don't want to give any spoilers.
Well, did you not go to Last Light though and do that yet? Because if you went to Last Light, you should have. Yeah, the inn. Went for the.
Well, no, because as soon as you said, "Oh, kill him and take his lantern," we were halfway on the journey to it. So I was out in the middle of this weird area.
How the hell did you run into him before you go to Last Light? Because I didn't run into the guy with the lantern until it's the inn where all the Harpers.
The last light of this podcast, dying slowly as we're discussing the nuances of Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow.
I'll put it down to me being... Yeah, apologies, I am mega tired. I had no sleep last night. My granddaughter slept last night, and she wanted to sleep in our bed, so she slept with a nana. I ended up in the spare bed, and for some reason I couldn't sleep, and it was about 3:30 this morning when I finally nodded off, so I am mega tired. So
I'm just giving shit for the record.
Yeah, I can't remember this inn. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, you mean because the Harpers didn't show you where the inn was at? Because if you made it to the inn, then you know.
Mr. Matthew, you're quiet.
No, because I'm
muted. I'm sitting here yelling in the microphone with my mute on.
Hey, you start in Act 2 starts. You go through this area. You have to use your torches,
right?
And you come across these people, and this guy with like tusks says, "Oh, there's a guide we can call," and he calls that guide over, and he's like a man spider thing. So I haven't made it.
No, I never ran into him.
So it depends on whether you go through the mountain pass or whether you go through the Underdark.
I went.
I didn't
so I think if you go through the mountain pass, you will meet the Strider before you get to the Last Light Inn.
Right. All right.
If you follow him for a little while longer, Mark, some people will help you kill him.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. This game came out in August of 23, so you don't have to really worry about spoiling it anymore.
All right. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, apparently there's a pixie in the lamp. Because when I killed him, I could hear this voice. And I know Kim says there's a bit of a surprise with the lantern. And I tried equipping the lantern to protect us from the environmental hazard. But even though I equipped it, and it showed it equipped on my person in my inventory, it wasn't protecting us. But I could hear his voice, and as health was going down. And then I didn't figure it out. And then afterwards, I looked online, did a bit of Googling, and there's this new icon in the hotbar which allows you to do something with a lantern. So I'm going to reload it and redo it.
Yeah, and just a side note, the pixie will come in and be more important in Act 3.
Yeah, but also
don't kill the pixie, Mark. Do not kill the pixie.
Because I know the pixie actually grants us immunity from this environmental hazard without the lantern. So I know that bit, so yeah, I'll redo it.
Well, that makes sense. I didn't realize you didn't go through the Underdark and go that way, that you went through the mountain pass.
I did all the Underdark, and then you said,
right,
have you done the Kresh? Because I was going to go into Act 2, and I went, oh no, Chris says either go Mountain Pass or Underdark. So I went Underdark, and you went, oh no, there's stuff to do in the Mountain Pass. So I went to the monastery, and I did the that monastery puzzle thing with the weapons on the pedestals with ceremonial weapons, and I did the creche,
Right.
did all that stuff.
I'm going to right now.
then-
We're going to do the ceremonial Harry Carey. We're going to kill this discussion.
No, just
You can
2
take this
seconds.
offline.
No, so because I was there, I just went into Act 2 from the mountain pass rather than going all the way back to Underdark. Right, that's it. End off.
Gotcha.
This is
Kim,
the Sword Coast.
Tell me
podcast,
about
right?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, I'm not gonna go too much into it. I've got my monk character.
Bullshit.
She's up to level 5. I'm gonna try. Anyway, she's up to level 4, level 5. And actually, to be fair, you can pretty much one punch something and almost kill it. So that's
I love
that's
this one
cool.
punch Kim.
Yeah, one punch Kim. Yep. And other than that, I found out that you could actually help the hag's victims after you killed her. See, I've played through that level, I don't know, a
Well-
couple, 3 times now. I never realized you
Yeah.
could go back and help them after you killed the hag. So I did that. So.
Well, you mentioned that murder frog, but when I met the frog,
Right.
it was right friendly with me. But I'd killed the hag by the time I met the frog. And
Right, I met her
took me to
before
some
that.
loot. Yeah. I'm
Right,
thinking,
right.
well,
So yeah,
you must have pissed that frog off big time.
I did. So yeah, no, I met it before we killed Ethel, and then I realized, hey, I could go back after, and yeah, I got loot. So anyway, that's all I've been doing. So I mean,
Okay.
me and
I have a
Mark
question for you,
lather
Kim.
about this for half an hour. Yeah.
When you play as a monk,
Mhm.
now with this notion of one punch Kim in your head,
Right.
do you add additional sound effects of your own when you throw punches?
Well, don't we all? I mean,
I'm just
And after
not always.
After every battle, do you meditate?
no, not quite, or we'd never get through.
All right.
But yeah.
So how many playthroughs have you got on the go now?
Like Batman.
6 or 7.
Like, I've got a hard time remembering what I'm doing with one playthrough. How can you have 6 or 7 playthroughs going and know where you are? It's crazy.
Yeah. I
The
know.
only thing that will get Kim off of Baldur's Gate 3 at this point in time is Naked Girl.
I'm going to say, yeah,
Uh,
the mods in Witcher.
Yeah, exactly. All
There
right,
you
Mr.
go.
Matthew. Thank
Mr.
God I
DeLacy.
do not see Baldur's Gate 3 on your list.
Well, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I just
I
figured
know,
we'd talk
but I
about it
appreciate
anyway.
you
so.
not putting it on your list.
Well, Chris said to me earlier we're going to talk for an hour on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I don't know where Greg's been, but
Damn you, Mr. Matthew. All right, tell me about Tainted Grail, the Fall
Okay.
of Avalon.
right.
So this is
Another name for
the
Baldur's
this,
Gate.
it's another name. No. So this is where the AI cookie tracking targeted ads get hold of you, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I was flipping through my phone and I saw this little article that said, "This is the first person RPG that Skyrim should have been." I was like, "Oh, well, that sounds interesting."
Gold.
And so I opened it up and I read about it and I was like, you know what? This actually sounds like kind of a fun game. So I bought it. I should have played the demo first. I bought it. And I've spent a little less than 10 hours in it, not too long. And it delivers what it says it's going to deliver. It says it's an Elder Scrolls-like experience based on Celtic lore, the King Arthur, once and future king kind of story. Excuse me. Like most of the Elder Scrolls games, it starts with you in a dungeon and someone comes and busts you out of the dungeon, out of prison. So, there you go.
Now, may I ask a question before you go in further? Because I think you're going to answer this question with what you're
You're the
going to
host.
say
Ask,
further here.
ask away.
Is this the game? Is this the first-person game that Skyrim should have been?
No, it is not. No, it is. And
It is
that's
a
not to say that
first-person
it's,
game.
yeah, it's not to say that it's bad. That's not to say that it's bad. There's a lot good about it.
Okay.
It's the combat is a little more smooth than in Skyrim, specifically because they added the. It's very similar. It's first-person combat. You can have your two-handed, one-handed magic, ranged weapons, all the same. But they've added a dash. So when you're in combat, you can press a key and you can dash away from or towards the enemies, right? That wasn't in Skyrim, so it makes it a little more fluid. There's some funny jokes and pop culture references in there. One example, I picked up a bounty from the bounty board where I have to go kill this ogre, and the name of the quest is "This is the part where you run away," which is a quote from Shrek, right? So
yes,
appreciate the pop culture reference there, particularly someone like me who speaks in movie quotes. So that was good. The crafting mechanic is good. It's pretty deep. One strange thing about it is when you put in your crafting recipe, it tells you on the screen there's this percentage chance for a good outcome and there's this percentage chance for a bad outcome. And so sometimes you craft something and it just doesn't work, which can lead to a little frustration. I've got a quest where I have to craft a specific thing, and every time I craft it, I get a broken one instead, so I have to go back and gather the ingredients again. So that's kind of annoying.
And that is annoying. You would think for a quest where you have to gather all of these specific things to make an item, and the item being made is a specific part of the quest, that once you gather the stuff, you would just make the item.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe I need to level up my crafting, because like the Elder Scrolls games, you improve your skills by using them, right? So the more you sneak, the better you get to sneak, et cetera, et cetera. Where it changes is it's a bit of a hybrid system. So leveling up a skill gets you a bit of XP. Okay. Killing enemies gets you more XP. Completing quests gets you even more XP. So XP is what drives your levels, but you can also level up your skills. So that's the good. And there's a lot of good. The story is engaging enough so far. It kind of presents you right at the beginning with what your choice is going to be at the end of the game. It is a brand new game, so I don't want to spoil too much. There are some technical issues. It's an independent studio, so I guess you don't expect it to be flawless, but there's some technical issues that are bad enough that they shouldn't be there. One is with the enemy pathfinding. You can really kind of take advantage of aggroing them and then going to where they will get stuck in the terrain, and then you can just beat them to death with whatever weapons you have because they're stuck in the terrain. Nice. Which is, if you're in a pinch, you can get out of it.
Game the system.
Yeah, and there's been enough times where I've gotten stuck in the terrain, and because fast travel costs resources, I had to reload a previous save. I can't just fast travel somewhere else. I can see why the game devs made fast travel harder. It's part of the challenge. I get it. It can be a little slow pace at times, and the combat can be a little bit unforgiving, right? You're not the Dragonborn here. You're not just going to wade through mountains of enemies with your great hammer, right? You have to plan what you're going to do. And there's an issue with enemies sometimes despawning after you kill them, which is annoying because I'm trying to kill the enemies to gather the loot to go build the quest item, right? So there's some technical issues that shouldn't be there. And the final kind of nitpick is it just doesn't quite look as pretty as a game you would expect in 2025. The rocks are a little too jagged. The enemies are not quite as high res as you'd want them to be. The textures are a little bit lacking. The faces kind of look very 2010-ish. But I'm enjoying it. I'll keep playing it. It delivers what it says it will deliver, which is a first-person Elder Scrolls-like game. First-person dungeon crawler. So I'll keep with it. And I'll report back to you after I've delved in a little more.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned about the algorithms and it, like you getting prompted it. I'm getting loads of game adverts for a new game coming out in a couple of weeks called Mind's Eye. And they're saying it's the game to put you on until GTA 6. I'm calling it like a GTA 6. Yeah, I'm getting all that all over TikTok and everything. And I've had a look online.
Yeah.
And it looks half decent, but a lot of the like early previews and reviews of it, there's a few issues with it. So I've put it on my wish list. I might ponder it. It depends.
Yeah, I think if I were to make a recommendation on Tainted Grail, I would say wait a little bit. I imagine they're going to patch out some of these issues, so it's probably worth picking up after they've had a chance to support it a little bit. It's based on a board game, and so what could go wrong, right? Video game based on a board game. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other gaming adventure this week. Yeah. So my other crew, we went to tackle the final boss. I say final. We'll put air quotes around final since it's still early access. But the current final boss in Enshrouded. So it's a big dragon on top of a volcano. So some of the other members of the server had built a tall tower that we could all glide to the volcano from, and off we went. I put a video in the show notes of the dragon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
If you want to pull that up. Not that this video of the starting area isn't enthralling.
It's tough. It's tough, Chris, to find. We pay good money, and it's still tough to get top talent to run things. I apologize.
I'm not running this.
Take a night off, but...
I'm not running the stream, so I'm not going to give Mark any beef.
I love giving Mark beef. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's on screen now.
There it is. So, unlike the person that made this video, who planned out their battle and optimized their character and knew exactly where they wanted to go and exactly what they wanted to do, we just jumped in and figured out. We figured we'd figure it out on the way, and so we jumped in and found that the dragon is much more difficult than any of the other enemies that you've encountered so far. Has some pretty powerful attacks and can kill your high-level characters in one hit. So it took us about an hour to take down the dragon. It was a lot of dying, trying to revive each other, respawning at the conveniently located base so that we could glide right back over to the dragon. But it was fun, just kind of chuckling along as we're all dying over and over again, and finally figuring out what it is that we're supposed to do. So get in there and check out Enshrouded. Yeah, there you see the guy just got toasted by the. Yeah, he just got toasted by the dragon.
Like a spin attack with all these fireballs and
yeah.
This looks
frustrating. It was, so there were like 8 or 9 of us, so that's what made it not so frustrating.
Yeah.
I imagine with a smaller crew.
Misery loves company.
Because as long as somebody stays there, the boss's health doesn't automatically regenerate. So we're kind of okay with it, If you're doing it solo and you were almost done and then you died and then the boss all the way back up, that would be frustrating. But yeah, good times. Going to continue with Enshrouded, try to finish some little side quests here and there and wait for the next update. You should get on your PC and check it out, Greg. You could probably play it on your Steam Deck.
I probably could. I will run right out. Speaking of finishing something, Cyberpunk 2077? Yes, no, maybe so.
I think I mentioned last week that I sat down. I was like, let's just go play the last quest here and put a bow on it.
Right.
And Adam Smasher showed up and said, no, you're not going to do that at all. And so I went back and I reloaded a previous save before the boss fight started. And I'm just kind of going around leveling up and finishing all the little gigs and side quests and cyber psycho sightings. I figure if the game's not in any hurry for me to go back to that last fight, I'm not in any hurry to go back to that last fight. So I'm going to get to max level. I think, what is it? Level 60 is your max level. I'm at level 48. Then I'll use my one free respec to make an Atom Smasher of a character, and then I'll go figure it out. I feel like that'll happen sometime in 2027, maybe, and then I'll start GTA 5.
Perfect.
Yeah,
GTA 6, GTA 5.
Well, I haven't played GTA 5 yet, so I got to play GTA 5 before I play GTA 6.
Totally makes sense.
Wait for GTA 6 to go on sale. The usual, yeah. I've had a change of heart about Avowed. I know Mark
in a bad
really
way or a
liked
good
it.
way?
In a good way. In a good way. So I said a couple weeks ago that I was having a real. I really wanted to like it, and I just wasn't liking it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I kept going back to it. I was like, I don't understand why I don't like this game. It is a game that I should like. It's a fantasy role-playing game with XP and crafting and all the things that I like in a game. So why don't I like this game? And so I finally figured out I had not quite understood how the leveling works. I was trying to spec into Ranger, but I hadn't quite spec'd in correctly. So I leveled up a couple times, put some skill points where they needed to be to make damage output of a Ranger what I expected it to be. Yeah. And so now I'm getting on with it quite well. I'm liking it quite a lot. So good pickup on Game Pass.
Because you can have two loadouts, can't you? You can switch between the two loadouts. So I had Sword and Shield for my main loadout, and then I can switch to Spellbook and Wand. And the wand I had was a unique wand which had electric capabilities. So all the switches to open all the doors, instead of using either the electric like grenade things or using a companion, I just used my wand and I activated all them, and I use that throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Avowed. I thought it was really good.
It's a pretty game.
It looks nice. What's interesting is the NPCs are all modeled very well. They look like what you expect an NPC to look like in 2025. The player character kind of looks a little derpy.
Yeah.
And so every now and again you're walking along and it snaps you into that whatever that voice is that's always talking to you. Yeah. But it's staring right at your face, and it's like, oh, what the? It just takes. It's just a little, But I'm enjoying the game. I'll keep at it. And I made a recommendation to Mark, and I'll make a recommendation to anyone who's listening. If you enjoyed Avowed, you should check out The Outer Worlds. It's on Game Pass. It came out in 2019. It's from Obsidian, the same publisher, and it's really a space. It's Avowed in space, really. You get two companions.
Yeah. I looked it up, and I've actually played this on Xbox when it first came out, but I didn't get far into it. So I might install it on PC. So.
Yeah, it's it plays a little better on the PC unless you're doing a melee character. Melee characters tend to play better on simply because everyone wants to put the dash button down on left control, which is just a weird. I don't like it.
And fun fact, The Outer Wilds 2 will be part of Xbox's main E3, not E3 stream next week.
Yeah, they're going to do a an hour-long deep dive after the show.
Yeah.
So there we go.
The Outer Worlds, Outer Worlds 2, yes. Yeah. So I guess I haven't finished Outer Worlds. Much like Cyberpunk, I got to the last boss fight and got stuck, so I reloaded a previous save, and I'll go back and finish it sometime.
Reloaded the previous save, and I left.
Yeah.
All right.
So one of the, I'll finish it someday. And the usual suspects. We had a nice run at Modern Warfare 3 on Fatal Friday. We even won a few games. And we had some really strong wins on Black Ops on Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
No losing at all that day.
Nope. We dominated.
Jay's joining the group didn't impact us at all. In fact, he barely even played. It was like he wasn't even there. So it was amazing.
He was just camping out.
Yeah. All right.
And I didn't put in the notes of what I played, but I've actually, because I installed Modern Warfare 3 through the launch.
Okay.
And that, I installed the 2 campaigns for Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Now, I played the campaign for 2 on Xbox a while ago, but I only went halfway through. But I've been playing it again on PC, and it didn't save my progress. I had to start from the beginning, but I've just done the mission where you're in the AC-130 and you protected your
I love that
team.
mission.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. When you switch into the 40mm and the missiles. So satisfying.
There's a feeling of power.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. Hey, so Kim, last week you checked out Retro Arcade. I was like,
Yes.
you know what? It's there. I'm going to check it out. I'm just going through it. I'm looking at. There's a ton of games. I was actually shocked at how many games are on there. That just again from my childhood. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check out Pitfall 2. Let me check out Hero. I played. Oh God, I can't think of the stupid name of the other game. But I'm just gonna say this now. Those games are absolute shit. Holy
Yes,
crap!
they are, but it's kind of fun to go back.
Holy crap! And it just it is good to go play those games to be reminded of how good we have it now. It is like
Right.
scary how bad they are. I was like, oh my God. And the funniest thing, and this was true back then. I felt the same way back then that I feel as of today, although probably more strongly today than I did back then. And that is the artwork on the boxes for those games were so great. And you were just like, it just captured you. And then you played the game and you're like, what happened to the front of the box? Because this is not what is on the front of the box. Hero was my first experience with that. So Hero, you play this hero in a little helicopter thing, and you're armed with dynamite, and you apparently have a gun. And I played 10 minutes or so of this game, and I thought to myself, this was just not good. And then I went to Pitfall, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'll play Pitfall. Pitfall 2.
Mhm.
Indiana Jones, right?
Right.
Is it no great?
I was constantly. I couldn't jump over the stupid rat. The rat kept pushing me into the water, so clearly I was going the wrong direction. So then I go the other direction, and I try to jump over the scorpion, and I can't, and I die. That summed up my playthrough of Retro Arcade for the most part. They had a old PC game in there that was a Robin Hood game that they adopted actual gamepad controllers for, which I cannot recommend highly enough to avoid that game because, I mean, it was like left click, mouse click was the A button, right mouse click was the B button, but this game didn't use the mouse clicks for entering anything, so then you had to hit the start button to hit enter, because that was the keyboard binding for entering anything, not right-clicking on the mouse. So that was a quick lesson in frustration. I got to a tavern, I spoke to somebody, and I quit. That was the summation, like everything. It was like maybe 5 minutes to play. Yeah. It is good as a reminder. That is all this serves, as far as I'm concerned. Now, what I did play that I've really come around on is RoboCop. I kind of was selling this game short, even though I was trying to give it some praise last week. I'm really enjoying this game. It is got way more depth to it than I thought it had, and the presentation of this game is actually quite good. It's got a really good story campaign that it's pulling you through. The story actually takes place between RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3, for those wanting to kind of know the timeline. And it has a number of upgrade systems within it that I did not realize existed much through my first, hour and a half, 2 hours of playing in this game. And so you have these chips that you can basically put into your system that help your targeting, basically up the ante on your sidearm. And when I first was looking at it, it looks like one of those pipe maze games where you have to take certain pieces that will make the pipes go in certain directions. And so you see on screen, like you'll see a four intersection piece of pipe, and you're like, okay, well I'll put a 4 intersection piece on that pipe to connect it and fit it in, because that's what it's calling for. Nobody tells you, or at least I didn't see any tutorial on this, but the reality is that's not what you want to do. You're looking at this PC board, and I say that term loosely, and you have these little pipes connecting to all these different attributes. There are a number of attributes on this board that are negative. And so what you actually want to do is take pieces that will help you avoid connecting to the negative components. Because for a while there, I was making all of my weapons like reload poorly, shoot poorly. Everything was red and negative because I was just putting the pieces that look like they fit, as opposed to thinking through, I want to avoid those negative aspects and just connect up the positive stuff. So now that I've figured that out, it's added a whole different dynamic. Plus, you can take those different little connecting pieces, you can put them into a merge machine, and you can take 3 pieces and create one, and it'll be randomly what you create, but sometimes you're going to create something better than what you had before, because each one of those pieces will give like a percentage boost. So that's on top of attributes that you can level up, like your health, your combat effectiveness, your hacking skills. So all of that is great. I'm very much enjoying that. There are different weapons that you do and can pick up, and you can utilize the environment very effectively. It also has kind of that Battlefield Bad Company level of destruction in it. So you can shoot through pillars and walls, and they'll crumble, and suddenly you're able to shoot past that to hit an enemy. In fact, at one point, I was in a gang's den, for lack of a better term, and I heard voices, but I went into a side room, and I was like, well, I'm just going to check out for loot in the side room first before I go engage them in their room. And they heard me and started shooting through the wall at me, and the wall started bursting open, and I was taking gunfire through the wall. So then I realized I could actually shoot through the wall back at them. I could actually break through walls, and there are a number of instances where you can not just take the direct route, you can go an alternative way and actually create your own entry point into, say, like a gang room, take the bad guys out by surprise. And it's pretty funny. There's been a few different times where I've like shot a guy's arm off, and I hear this, "Motherfucker, you shot my arm off!" And as he's dying, and it's just, there's some satisfaction to that level of brutality. Now, the bad. It is glitchy. There are a number of glitches in this game, and in fact, I encountered a glitch where I was supposed to be going into a boss battle, and I went into the boss battle and properly had my ass handed to me, and I died. It reloaded me, and I went back into the same room to start again, and everybody was gone. Nobody was in the room. And so as I walked into the room, suddenly they start pouring out, but it was glitching, and because they were supposed to already be in the room, and so it didn't, even though I killed everybody in the room, it didn't activate the thing I was supposed to find to advance the story. So I had to reload through a save a ways back. So the good news is you do have that ability of kind of, it auto saves pretty generously, and you have the ability to go back to a number of different auto saves. But you'll find a couple glitches here and there in that side, as well as audio glitches. Just a couple different times, just audio becomes obnoxiously loud when it shouldn't be. And so it's not perfect, but it's surprisingly good. And so I think I paid $7 for this game. I am more than happy. And so, Mark, by the way, you do own this game.
Yeah, I've got it on my list to play. Yeah.
The gift that keeps giving. Game sharing, by the way, not Game Pass. Yeah. All right, so that's it for me.
Yeah, the
Good
only
stuff.
downside with game sharing is because it's not on game, but I have to play it on the Xbox up here. So I can't even play it on the downstairs
what?
Xbox because you can only share one console.
You ungrateful bastard.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Hey, Mr. Matthew. I believe you
Hey,
cooked up
Mr.
something
DeLacy.
tasty.
I did. I cooked up a tasty quiz after the sound effect.
Oh, oh shit.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Oh yeah, quiz. There we go.
It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad.
Very nice.
That was the abbreviated version. Where's the
Yeah, it's not-
nothing
it's-
about getting away
yeah.
from the windows?
Yeah, I ain't got that. I'll have to get that.
Get away from the windows. Okay, so as is our tradition here, our new tradition. We're going to do our 4 games across 4 different platforms. This week, I do have a mystery theme for you, so we'll see if you can guess the theme.
Mystery theme.
when we get to the end. So,
Okay.
Since Mark wasn't here last week, Mark gets the honor of going first this week. So we're gonna reach into the Wayback Machine here a little bit. The first game is Command and Conquer Red Alert 3,
Ooh,
and we're looking for the PC release.
right.
So we're looking for the Metacritic score of Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 on the PC.
I've
So
played-
while Mark ponders that,
Yeah. I own and played Red Alert 2. But I've never played 3. But yeah, the Command and Conquer games, I think they were quite highly regarded. I'm going to say 82.
Mark says 82. Uh-oh.
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 There we
Just
go.
killed the
I got my score. I got my score sheet. I was just trying to make sure it was working correctly. Okay. Corzan from the chat says 86. In the random coin toss before the show, Greg was chosen to go second.
Okay. So Command and Conquer, when it first came out, very highly regarded. I think it had a lot of goodwill. But right around Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, I think the goodwill started to fade a little bit on the whole series. And so I think Command and Conquer 3 might be more like a 78. So I'm going to go 78.
So I want to just make sure we're clear.
Red Alert 3, not...
There's
Command and Conquer
there was
Red Alert.
Command and Conquer 3.
Yeah, it was Red
Right,
Alert.
Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Tiberium Wars, Red Alert 3. So we're talking about Red Alert 3.
Yes.
Don't know if that changes your answer.
It is not going to change my answer. I'm going to stay on 78.
Snoogan says
Staying
88.
on 78. And let's make sure I spell
I'm
Snoogans
shocked that
correctly.
Snoogans is still with us. I thought he was busy choking his chicken
2
more.
zeros. 88. Oh, goodness.
Hey, he put it in the chat, not me.
It's Snoogan's fault we're playing. Well, one of the expansions for Red Alert was Yuri's Revenge, and there's a mod you can download to actually play that online now because all the servers have been turned off. So I know him and Jay play that a lot online, and I've played a little bit with Jay. Fun fact.
All right. Fun fact. And so while we wait to see if anyone else wants to play from the web, Kim, what do you think about Red Alert 3 on the on the PC?
I'm gonna say what was it, Mark? 82.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 84.
Kim's going to say 84. So the correct answer was 82. Well done, Mark.
Wow.
Well done. Mark.
So that puts, let me do my quick math. Mark in the lead, followed closely by Kim, followed closely by Corzan, followed closely by Snoogans, and then Greg. Everybody within 10 points, though. Pretty close. Pretty close. So let's see. Mark went first. So Greg, you get the first guess this round. And this This one we're going to go with Rock Band 2. Rock Band 2 on the Xbox 360. So Xbox 360 Rock Band 2. If you're playing along in the chat, just give me a little RB2 before your score so I know which game you're talking about.
So Rock Band 2. Also, I would like the judges to reconsider scoring because I believe my 78 would put me only 4 points off as opposed to the 6 points off that Snoogans is at. I'm just saying.
You're right.
I have to beat Snoogans.
You're right.
I have to beat Snoogans.
My math, I failed at math there. So you and Corzon are tied. There we go.
Today's Army.
Hey. All right,
Rock Band 2.
Corzon says 92 for Rock Band 2. Greg, Rock Band 2.
Rock Band 2. I'm going to go 90 for Rock Band 2.
Greg goes 90. So that brings us to Kim while we see if Snoogans has an answer from the chat.
I'm gonna go. See 92. Greg says 90. I'm gonna say 93. Fuck it.
Kim says 93. And that brings us around the horn to Mr. Marcanix.
I've still got Rock Band, the first one, and the guitar, it's just over in that corner. And I've still got a 360. It's a great game.
You gotta pull it out and slay.
But I never played Rock Band 2, but I know the Rock Bands were rated really high, if anything higher than the Guitar Heroes, weren't they? Because there was the Beatles one as well, weren't there? I'm going to price this right, Greg. I'm going to go 91. I'm going to go... Me and Kim's on each side of 90. Greg's 92. Did Greg go 92?
What? No, I went 90.
90. Oh,
Snoogans, Corzon was 92.
All right, I'll say 89 then.
I would like to hold him to his first answer, please.
Mark, you should have stuck with your first answer because the correct answer was 92.
No.
So the correct answer was 92, and now it's a really tight race.
Things just
Mark and Kim are tied. Mark and Kim are tied for first, with Corzon close in second, and Greg and Rob tied. So going into question three, which brings us to Kim for the first guess. This is Spider-Man, Friend or Foe, on the Wii.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. All right.
We're jumping in the Wayback Machine today.
That's the Wayback sound for the record.
I appreciate it.
I don't know. So I'm going to go 84.
Kim's going to go 84 for Spider-Man Friend or Foe on the Wii, which brings us back to Mr. Mark.
I don't know the game, and I know there was a lot of trash on the Wii. I'm going to not be as generous as Kim. I'm going to say 68.
Mark says
I'm taking a gamble. 68.
Swinging for the fences. All right. Let's see. Corzon says 80 for Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Snoogan says 77. What say you, Mr. Murphy's Law?
So I think Mark is on the right direction with this because, as I recall, there weren't a lot of good hero games whatsoever. And Spider-Man games also were notoriously not very well received. There was, I think, the one that did get somewhat well received was The Amazing Spider-Man by Activision on 360. So I think I'm going to somewhat Price is Right, Mark. I'm going to go 65.
65 for Mr. DeLacy. Well, you Price is Righted Mark in the right direction. The correct answer was 59. So you were all very generous. And so that brings us coming to the last round. Mark and Greg tied for the lead, with Kim, Corzon, and Snoogans all all very close together. Okay, and so for the final question in regulation, let's see. We should be back to Greg having the first guess here, right?
No, Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, we're back to Mark having the first guess.
Not that
That's
I'm
right.
competitive or anything.
Not that you're competitive or anything.
No, not at all.
This is Wanted Weapons of Fate on the PlayStation 3.
Right. So this is based on the movie, if I recall, with
Yep.
Angelina Jolie.
That's the movie.
And James McAvoy.
Mm-hmm.
Curving bullets.
Bending bullets, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't really know much about the game. It didn't make an
I
impact.
did like the movie.
Yeah. But I don't think it made an impact in the game scene, did it? Oh, jeez. I'm going to... 72.
Mark is going to go with 72, which brings us to Greg while we're waiting for our answers from the chat.
Ooh, Jeff's on the same line as me.
He prices right, did you?
70.
Yeah.
Greg's going to go 70. Price is right in Jeff, which brings us to Kim.
Hell, I'm gonna price this right tank top. I'm gonna go 69.
I bet you are.
6-9. And Snugan says 6-5. So you were all exceptionally generous to this game. The correct answer was 61. 61 was the correct answer. Which brings us going into the final round. Greg at 21. Mark in second place at 23. Snugan's in third place at 28. Corzan with 35 and Kim with 36. So to make it fun, I'm going to go with minus for a minus 15 on your score. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. For a minus 15 on your score, let's see if you can guess the mystery connection that all of these games share. And so let's see that we're going to give Greg the first shot at the mystery theme. While you deliberate, we'll keep an eye on the chat to see if anybody gets it.
I got to think back to the games that we went through. So it was
the games were Command & Conquer Red Alert 3, Rock Band 2, Spider-Man Friend or Foe, and Wanted Weapons of Fate.
It's
a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah. This is I don't think he would do any kind of E3 tie-in.
Wouldn't he?
He could. I'm just thinking, did these games ever really... Rock Band 2 would have. The Spider-Man game, like, did that headline the E3 show?
We need some background music, don't we? It's a lot of dead air.
I know. This is tough.
We need some Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
No.
I am going to say, and this, it doesn't fit for, so I have a backup answer I'm not going to use, but I'm going to go with my E3 thing. These all made an E3 stage presentation.
All right. Greg's guess is E3 stage presentation. Kim, after hearing those deliberations, what do you think is the mystery theme for the day?
I haven't a clue. They were all shitty games except for Rock Band 2, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't even guess at a year at this point, so I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take the negative 15 because I have no idea. So
Okay. Snugan says he doesn't know the answer, but he'll give us another score, 91. And Corzan says, body blue, raised arms. No idea here. All right. So is that your final answer, Kim? IDK?
yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, no clue.
That
I'm
might be
probably
the
just
answer,
gonna
by the way. Chris might have just said,
Right?
"There's no rhyme or reason." That could be the answer.
The answer's obvious.
That would be truly devious.
The answer's
What's the
so
answer?
obvious. They're all video games.
Right?
There it is. They're all video games.
No, the only
They're all-
thing I got, but I don't know about Rock Band. I know Guitar Hero was. The only thing I got is they're all Activision games. That's
I don't know if they are or not.
Interesting.
I think Spider-Man was. I don't know. It's the only thing I
Is-
can come up with.
I might have to. That was not the answer that I was looking for.
Alright, okay.
But I might have to research that and give you some retroactive points.
Uh-oh.
So let me make sure I get this. Let me make sure I get this right. It's tenuous. It's a tenuous thread. Today is Tom Holland, Spider-Man's birthday.
Yeah.
Today is Morgan Freeman, who was in the movie Wanted's birthday. Today is Jonathan Pryce's birthday, who played a voice role in Command and
That's why
Conquer
you put all
Rebel
them
Alert 3.
birthdays in, you. That's why all them birthdays
And today is Alanis Morissette's birthday, and she had a song featured in Rock Band 2. So the theme of the day is June 1st birthdays. So there you go. And no ChatGPT for this week's quiz. Just some Googling. Just lots of Googling.
Tremendous Googling.
So
Good, but yeah, no, I
so-
would have never got that.
I would have been really surprised if any of you got it. I tried to through. So well done, everybody. That was fun. Greg wins this week, followed closely on the heels by Mark. So tune in next week for maybe a slightly less devious theme.
Well, my answer's wrong anyway, because Red Alert was Electronic Arts. It wasn't Activision anyway. So.
Yeah. I should have remembered right away that that's an EA game.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh well.
Yeah, and also the Spider-Man game was not the Wii one was not Activision.
No, but I know some are Activision.
Yeah.
Aren't
Spider-Man 2000, Spider-Man 2 Sinister Six, Spider-Man Mysterio's Menace, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 apparently had the Spider-Man in it. So there you go. Those are Spider-Man games.
Marvel's Spider-Man on PlayStation 5 has been pretty well received, although I haven't
Yes.
played it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
It has definitely been well received. Okay, well that was fantastic. Well done, and damn you for the birthday tie-in. That was devious.
That was good.
Although Alanis Morissette's birthday was not listed in the, because if she had been there, I would have totally guessed it.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Right, sure.
All right, so I'm going to do this real fast. We have a couple pieces of news. We're going to run through those ultra fast, and then we're going to get into the last big thing, which is our E3 predictions. Mark, play me a jingle.
What we're doing?
Please.
Yes. Here is the fucking news.
I was quickly trying to think of 3 predictions then.
Well, you can think away while I talk through these news stories. So, real fast. People Can Fly, beloved game studio. They canceled 2 unannounced games and signaled that there will be layoffs to the studio as a result of publisher disagreements. So, Project Gemini was an unannounced game which was set to be published by Square Enix. A lot of them are speculating this was the sequel to Outsiders. It also had an unannounced separate VR game referred to as Project Bitfrost. Both have been canceled. The suspension of the Gemini project is a consequence of the fact that the publisher has not presented us with a draft of the subsequent content writer to the publishing agreement, covering the terms and conditions of further milestones on Project Gemini and the lack of communication from the publisher as to its willingness to continue or terminate the Gemini project. And this was per the CEO. Basically, the same thing happened with Bitfrost, just to summarize real fast. Now, I think, you know what? I don't blame them for canceling. If the publisher's not giving them any additional, basically, money at this point, or giving them any additional agreements saying that they'll pay them for certain milestones, we've seen this happen with Warner Bros. They let a studio basically develop out a game for years and years and years, and then they just canceled it. So this is a little bit different situation. It's a third-party agreement, so they have to make sure that they're going to get paid. So, yeah, they've still got stuff in the books, by the way. So they are the studio working on the Gears of War E-Day project, as well as an unannounced game using a PlayStation IP. So yes, they had some layoffs. They didn't confirm how many people got laid off, but there's other stuff in the works for them. So I don't think they're truly in any danger of folding under. Now, Playtonic Games, they might be in a little bit different situation. So this is the Yooka-Laylee developer. They have confirmed that a number of its staff have been laid off. So again, just to get some bad news out of the way before E3 happens, we get these kind of announcements. So posted on X and Blue Sky, they said, "This is one of those messages we never wanted to have to write. We have all seen in recent years how the games industry has been changing, resulting in studio after studio finding themselves in situations where, to continue to exist, they must make painful decisions that impact the lives of so many individual talented developers. Like others, we've felt the knock-on effects and after exploring every possible avenue, we've had to make the incredibly heartbreaking decision to say goodbye to some truly brilliant members of the Playtonic team. This isn't a reflection of anyone's talent or dedication. The people leaving have poured so much heart, creativity, and care into everything we do. They've helped shape our studio and games and our culture, and we're incredibly proud of what we've built together. This isn't simply a difficult moment. It's a period of profound change in how games are created and financed. The landscape is shifting, and with it, so must we." So it's a very interesting message, and I didn't go into any of the other additional kind of commentary that came from that, but the last comment about the landscape is shifting, and with it, so must we. That's interesting. I feel like that's saying a lot without saying a lot, right? And I don't know if this is, the landscape is shifting on the financial side of things for these developers, or if it's maybe shifting on the tech side, and that, introduction of AI tools and things of that nature are changing how they're approaching development. And we would never know, but it is interesting. We've been getting a lot of layoffs in the gaming industry of late.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, speaking of layoffs, this just cracked me up, so I had to put this story in here. A commemorative plaque given to the developer to celebrate the release of Concord, Sony's Concord game, is currently up for auction at a Goodwill store in the U.S. So, the plaque, which will have been given to members of the game's development team to mark its full release. Remember, Concord was the game that basically was shut down after just a few weeks of it being out in the wild. So it contains artwork, a game disc, and the name of the developer. So apparently the developer that gave this plaque to Goodwill is Chelsea Grace, founding Free Gunner, North Star Crew, Worldwide Concord launched August 2024. August 23rd, 2024. That's on the plaque itself. Now, she was a member of the art department for the Concord developer Firewalk Studios, and she was an outsourcing and co-development lead. So, I don't know. I am assuming she gave this, you donate to Goodwill. At the end of the day, what's interesting is I never knew Goodwill could turn around and auction stuff, but apparently they can. And so at the time of the writing of the article from VGC, the auction had received 34 bids, and currently had a price tag of $2,526 for this plaque.
You got the decimal point.
Definitely
in
a
the right
collector's
place,
piece.
You sure it
Say it
is-
again?
Have you got the decimal point in the right place? You're in $25.26.
Nope, it is $2,526. I mean, it is a collector's piece if you think about it. At the end of the day, this is a game that is going to live in infamy for its epic failure. And so, yeah, I mean, if you want to go and place your own bid, you can. It's at the Goodwill branch of the Olympics and Rainer region, which covers Tacoma, Washington, and Longview, Washington. So go look the store up. You can go put a bid down on your very own Concord memorabilia. Okay.
Kind of like the Ford Edsel, right?
Yeah. Horrible car, but, now worth quite a bit.
Collector's item.
Yeah. Speaking of collector's items, our predictions, they're worth gold, let me tell you.
I mean, yeah.
So I asked everybody, Mark, before the show to come up with a few predictions for the E3 not E3 show. Now we know we're going to have the Xbox showcase. We also know we have the Summer Game Fest showcase from Jeff Keighley. That's happening on June 6th and 8th, I believe, respectively, or vice versa, actually. I think it's the Summer Game Fest is on the 6th and the Xbox showcase is on the 8th. Either way, we're going to put forward some predictions, at least a few that are going to be fairly reasonable, could very well happen, and then one that's a little more outlandish that we would love to see happen, but probably will never happen. So I'll kick it off. Kick the juices going here with my first prediction. And we'll track these, worth noting, as I'm going to make some room on my notes for everybody else. So this way we can do a little tallying at the end. But so my first prediction, I am going to say Gears E-Day will be absent from the Xbox show. So Gears of War Reloaded will get a quick trailer for its August release, but we're not going to see anything for Gears E-Day at the Xbox showcase.
What's Gears E-Day? Emergency Day? Do you mean for that reloading?
Yeah. No. Gears Reloaded is Gears of War 1 being remastered.
Yeah.
That's releasing on August 23rd. Gears E-Day is a game trailer you should look up, Mark.
All right. Okay.
I think you want to check that out.
All right, because I've just quickly made some predictions, and my Xbox One's Gears 6 is announced.
All right, and we need a Gears 6. So why not Gears 6?
My Xbox prediction is Gears of War E-Day will get a gameplay trailer.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Same here. That I had the same. So.
Okay, so I'm just frantically catching up on all of these notes here. So Gears E-Day gameplay trailer, gameplay reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And Kim is also in that camp.
Wasn't the first Gears of War about Emergency Day? I don't get that.
It was and it wasn't. It kind of so the first Gears of
War, yeah.
Yeah, they had already been in the war by the time we picked it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh. Didn't know that.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
There's the classic Mark. Ooh.
Yeah, right?
I do like work.
Another game for the pile of shame.
I'll be diagnosing something and I'll go, ooh. A guy in the office will go, oh, what you found? What you found?
All right, I'm going to make some bullet points as we're talking. Why don't we go back to you, Chris? Why don't you give me another?
So another realistic prediction is that we'll get an announcement for a new Mario game.
New Mario game.
A new game in the Marioverse? Is that what we're calling it? Sure.
Is this for the Switch or Switch 2 or both? Out of curiosity. If you want to pin you down a little.
I think they're early yet to start obsoleting the Switch, so I think it's going to be Switch 1 and 2.
Okay, I like it. All right, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something tasty.
Alrighty. I think we're gonna see more of The Witcher 4. I mean, I know we've already seen a trailer, but I think they're gonna have maybe a longer trailer, or they're gonna give us more of a look at than the trailer we've already seen. If that makes
A
sense.
better gameplay.
Yep.
Witcher 4 gameplay reveal.
Maybe I'm just
Okay.
hoping. I don't know.
All right. I like it.
Mhm.
Mark.
Well, yeah, mine was a Gear 6. Well, I just like came up with like 10 minutes ago. Are you wanting another one?
That was the thought.
Right, okay.
That was the thought.
I think Sony might announce. I don't even know if Sony are doing a presentation. Spider-Man 3.
Okay. I suppose that could come at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to
All
think
right.
a lot of these up in like.
I know. Putting you on the the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I did kind of tell everybody yesterday, but it's okay. It's all right.
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I will say Ninja Gaiden 4 will get an actual date reveal for holiday 2025. We know it's coming this year, but it will actually get a specific date.
Gotcha.
Mr. Matthew.
My final realistic prediction is that we're going to get more, maybe a gameplay trailer for Star Wars Zero Company.
Ooh. All right. I would love for that. All right. Kim.
Alrighty. Probably not gonna happen, but maybe we might get a peek at what Larian is gonna do next. I mean, we know they're not gonna do Baldur's Gate 4 apparently. So, but what are they gonna do next?
They changed their Twitter handle to Divinity for a bit, didn't they? And we changed it
Right.
back. Yeah.
But then they backpedaled and they said, no, that's not it either. But maybe we'll get a peek
All
at
right.
it. You know.
Peek at Larian's next project. All right. I can dig with that. Mark.
So my third one is a bit out there, and I think it's been mentioned every year since time began. Valve will announce Half-Life 3 officially. That'll never happen, will it?
Three. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to kill off a few. What do I want?
My outlandish pie in the sky prediction is that we're going to get an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer and a Christmas 2025 release date.
There you go.
I think part of that could come true. I think we definitely hear about Elder Scrolls 6. I just don't know about 2025.
Oh, yeah. It would make my day, but it probably won't happen. I want them to do it good. It doesn't have to be in a hurry.
Right.
Fair. I'm going to say Rare finally re-shows Everwild.
Oh.
So we haven't heard from Everwild in quite some time. So they bring that back. Mark or Kim?
They teased a Johanna Dark one. Is it Perfect Dark one a while ago?
Perfect Dark?
And we never even heard of that since, have we?
We did see a trailer for that, 2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Kim, do you have an outlandish you want to throw out there?
I do, and I'll bet you can figure out what it is, but I'm going to say it anyway.
All right, say it.
We're going to see Baldur's Gate 4. We're not, but, a girl can dream.
Okay, Baldur's Gate 4 gets announced. You know what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I don't think it'll be, years yet,
I tend to agree. Mark, you have an outlandish one you want to throw out there?
Yeah, Switch 2 owners will be playing mainly in 2025 How to Stay Unbanned.
Sorry, say it again.
How to Stay Unbanned.
I didn't even know what the hell you're talking about.
How to not get banned for playing mods on their console.
Nintendo threatened to brick consoles if you did any modifications to your Switch 2.
Got it.
Right.
So all Nintendo Switch 2 buyers will be finding ways of circumventing that.
Okay, that's funny.
I don't know how you're going to prove that. Like,
Well played. I brain was not equating that one out. All right. So I'm going to throw two out there. One is a non-Xbox One. Well, it is actually an Xbox One, but this is somewhat still realistic. But it's Kojima talks Death Stranding 2 with gameplay and teases his next game with Jeff Keighley on stage, but says nothing about the Xbox Project OD. So it still remains in secrecy. The one I want to have happen, but I don't think they will ever make it happen. It's a new Halo universe game gets teased, and it's third person, and there's no Master Chief.
Oh.
So there we go. There's the predictions.
Gotcha.
We shall see how we do. Because it's next week. It's already that time. It's crazy. It's already June. I just want to throw that out there. It feels like it's still April.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, May. Still feels like it's May. It is only June 1st. All right. Let's see if we... Unbound. I'm with you, Corson. Fable is coming. We do know it's coming. It's actually... If I was going to do a Fable prediction, by the way, I would say Fable is going to get a holiday release for 2026. I think they're so confident in that game. They delayed it for a full year, but I think that hits fall 2020 or holiday timeframe 2026.
Right.
I don't know. All right, these have been saved. They've been documented. We shall come back to this in a little over a week's time. See how we did.
Alrighty.
Everybody feel confident about their predictions? Mark, I know you toiled away very long, hard.
So diligent.
Well done.
I never got the memo about that yesterday. I didn't see it.
That's okay. It's all
It's
right.
on last week's show, too.
Didn't want to go there, Kim. I was trying to save Mark. I didn't want to say it.
All right.
Kim,
I went
tell us
there.
about new releases, please.
Alrighty, your new releases for this week. First week of June, we have Void Sayer for the PC on June 2nd. And another Void game, we have Void Scout. I don't know if the two are related, maybe not. But Void Scout for the PC, also on June 2nd. NWO Anarchy Collapsed for the PC on June 3rd. Bravely Default Flying... Really? Okay. I mean, I put this down, so obviously. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster for... I don't know what any of that means. But it'll be on June 5th. Right. Civilization 7 for the Switch 2 on June 5th. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition for the Switch 2 on the 5th. Fast Fusion also for the Switch 2. There's going to be a lot of Switch games.
When's Switch 2 coming out?
Fusion
June
for Switch
5th by any chance?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, I'm going to guess. Yeah, June 5th. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intrograde for the Switch 2 on June 5th. Fortnite for the Switch 2 on June 5th.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right? Couldn't live without Fortnite. Hitman World of Assassinations Signature Edition for the Switch 2, June 15th. Hogwarts Legacy, also for the Switch 2, June 5th.
Cool game.
Mario Kart World for the Switch 2, June 5th. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Answers my
Nintendo
question.
Switch 2 console launch, yeah, June 5th. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, June 5th.
Which you have to pay
Rune
for.
Factory.
Yeah.
Right. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, for Switch 2, June 5th. Street Fighter 6 for the Switch 2, June 5th. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2, June 5th. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch 2, June 5th. Oh, hey, here we go. Parallel
This is boring.
Experiment for
I'm
the
bored
PC, iOS. Parallel Experiment for the PC, iOS, and Android, June 5th. And Yakuza 0 Director's Cut for the Switch 2 on June 5th. And those are your new releases. So happy new release,
You
Switch 2
got
owners.
to give
There you
them
go.
credit, though. There's plenty of launch games.
It definitely is getting supported.
Definitely.
And Mark is clearly a Nintendo hater.
Yeah, I am.
Clearly.
Yeah, I love it.
Really.
I love Nintendo. I'm not a hater at all. All right. Play dates for this coming week. You can come hang out on Tuesday, play some Shooty Tuesday, either Halo, Modern Warfare, ACC. I don't see why we would ever play that game.
Right.
I'm just saying.
We should think about Battlefront 2. I think it's on EA Play now.
Ooh,
Yeah, Game Pass.
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea. It's made a resurgence since Andor.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
like their Star Wars. I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'll make sure I install it. There we go. Battlefront 2. Although, now that I'm saying that, I actually probably am missing the Tuesday shooty. Work will be interrupting that. I have a couple different meetings. So, you
Guess it'll
guys
have to
play
be
Battlefront
Thursday.
2. Yeah. Maybe Thursday. There you go. Double Fatal Fridays, also known as Femme Fatale Friday, because why not? Anything on tap? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, we did
Check
Modern
out Mark.
Warfare
Probably
3
not.
last week, and it went down quite well. We had some good fun on there. It was a different
Okay.
pace
And I get
to
to play
Black
with the
Ops.
skins. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Possibly a bit of Modern Warfare 2 even. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Battlefront 2. We're doing Battlefront 2. It's decided. Chris had a great idea.
It will be a Battlefront 2 week.
I mean, I'm not the king here. We can do whatever. I'm just saying.
All hail the king.
I remember a couple of years ago, the Joysticks and Chill guys, Hardly Dan and Jane, that they did a Battlefront 2 play date, and I joined in on that. We had a lot of fun. That was good.
Yeah,
Never played it, so I don't know.
I remember trying to fly, and it did not go well. Yeah. What was the Battlefield game that had? It was just the planes.
You might be thinking of
1943. We had a
Yes.
one with just the planes, didn't they?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. That we had some
did
fun
love
on
that.
that.
Yep.
That was when we had Xbox Arcade, wasn't it, on the 360?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wake Island. Yeah, it was so good as that Battlefield 1943.
Good times. All right. I suppose it's that time. We've gone long enough. We're going to wrap the show up. Do some shout outs. By the way, like, subscribe, do the social media thing. Give us some love on X, Twitter. On I don't think we post to Blue Sky.
No.
I don't really care about Blue Sky, but if we have a Blue Sky member amongst us, we could post there, I suppose. But if you're on social media, give us some love. That's all I ask. You can catch us next week. We'll be back same time, same bat channel. We'll be doing the post E3, not E3 wrap up. Let's start with Mr. Matthew. Shout outs, please.
Shouting out Corzan Snuggins for participating in the Metacritic Madness. Shout out to all those June birthdays for inspiring today's theme. And shout out to the Call of Duty Tuesdays, maybe Thursdays, Friday crew for tolerating the string of obscenities coming from the Hudson Valley during most of those matches. Because he's getting sleepy by the moment, we're going to pass it to Mr. Marcanix.
I want to shout out AM5 socket pins. Thanks for bending so easy, bastards. And a big shout out to Snuggins, Rob. He had some bad news recently, and then he also fell ill, so he's been poorly this past week. So he was that poorly, couldn't even play games. So yeah. So hope you're getting better, Rob, and hope you're back on your feet soon. Kim?
Alrighty, I'm gonna shout out our chatters that have been there today, because we had a few today. Kind of nice. Let me get my phone to work. Oh, there we go. Boomer, Corzon, Bongo, Snuggins. Thank y'all for dropping in the chat and keeping us entertained. You are the reason we do this thing, so thanks for that. Shout out to you guys as always, because this is my adult time at the end of the week. So thanks. I'm not sure that's a good thing for you or not, but it's fun for me. Anyway, other than that, I hope everybody has a good week. This summer's coming, so over to TikTok.
And first, I got to shout out Corzon because he just called us a good show, and so
I know, right?
There's that. No higher praise.
Is
So
he
thank you
watching
for
the right
that.
thing?
I don't know. He's probably not. He's probably mistaken.
Or he's
It's
drunk,
okay.
maybe. I don't know.
Shout out to the three of you. As always, a pleasure. Shout out to Snoogans. Dude, get over it. Come on. Snap out of it. Let's go. Come on, kid. Get back in the saddle.
Well, he has eaten a
Fuck
full
up.
chicken tonight, so he must be getting better.
I know. He ate the full chicken. That was not for the family. That was just for him.
Yeah.
Entire thing, bones and all. Swallowed it one shot. Shout out to football. Come back faster. I want a 40-game season now from the NFL. I'm tired of for this pussyfooting around. They make it a year-round sport by all of the different things that they pace out. Let's just go for it. Make it 40 games. Increase squad sizes to 100. Let's just get into it. Come on.
This is boring. I'm bored now.
Oh, fuck off. Let's go. All right, that's it. We're done. Mark, play the outro music.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.